It says the meeting is now streaming live on YouTube, Steve.
Right. Okay.
So this is a test. On YouTube, will it put the person's face that's speaking the largest? Because even though I'm speaking, I can just see your face as the large image.
Right. I don't know.
Right.
So we're live. So hello to anybody who happens to be watching. This is a test of YouTube live streaming, and we're going to just briefly talk through the agenda items for tomorrow's meeting by way of a test, and we will also try putting up a planning application to see how that appears on the live stream. So, Kate, do you want to go through?
Yes. So the first item on the agenda is the meeting of the last council, the minutes from that, which is from the 4th of March. They are due to be approved or otherwise as council see fit. Then item 2 is apologies. To note, so far we have apologies from Councillor Blackburn and Councillor Sutton. Item 3 is to declare any interest, for the councillors to declare any interest they may have on any agendaed items.
And of course, during that, they will blank the screen and go and be muted so that they can't participate in the meeting itself.
So the councillors will blank their screen, Steve?
That will be what I asked them to do, because they've
Right.
got their own video. I'm not sure whether I can.
So by that, do you mean the councillors should just minimise their screen?
So they're not visible. So they should stop the video service, just leave it on audio, which will be muted by me.
Yes, stop video.
But they will still be able to hear the meeting, what's going on in the meeting, so they know when to come back into it, but they won't be part of the meeting. So you've gone at the moment.
I've just
done that, and your name is there.
And then I've started the video again. So that's quite easy, just to press that video icon, actually. Yes. So, and then item 4 is public participation, which this time we've asked the public to submit their questions. Hopefully they should have done that by today at 12 noon.
Yes, I'm not aware of any questions, but I know there are a couple of statements regarding the timing of the meeting, so which is going.
So is this where you will bring those to note? Is it, Steve?
It is, yes.
Comments, yeah. Town Mayor's announcements and correspondence. Then we've got the schedule of payments for approval. So there's 2 separate lists there, Steve, isn't there? We must be careful that there's one that's already been authorised and one that's due to the COVID-19 restrictions not yet been authorised in the usual way. Yeah. Then reports by district and county councillors. We've not had any submitted, but sometimes I know some of our town councillors that are also district councillors may want to give a verbal report there, maybe.
That's right. I mean, they may well have some, especially district council, who are more actively involved in dealing with businesses for grant purposes, and also obviously things like business rates. So they may be able to give some feedback on how that's going and the impact on local businesses in Skegness.
Item 8, we have the councillor concerns on the impact of the COVID-19 in the local community. I know one of our councillors has raised a question, so is that where that will be mentioned there?
Yes, I mean, I'm hoping that the local MP, Matt Warman, will be joining us tomorrow in the video conference and I've sent him a copy of that question, so he may be able to get an answer to that for us tomorrow.
Now, I know the new inspector is also hoping to join if she can. Is this where we might bring her in for any questions that councillors may have on crime?
I think so, because we normally have the separate police questions, but I think, bearing in mind that most of the issues at the moment are related to COVID-19, and I think it's appropriate that that comes in at this time. Yeah.
Then item 9 is to approve the planning policy committee meeting minutes. Item 10, we've got the management committee meeting minutes. And then item 11, there's some notes from an emergency advisory sort of email meeting where of course you had to make some decisions there. So for those decisions to be ratified by council.
Yes, for those things where at that point we didn't have a means by which council could legally meet, but now that government has made changes to the legislation, that's how we're now able to have video conference meetings.
Then item 12 is to consider the actions required to manage the situation resulting from the coronavirus. I know there's a report there in the meeting papers that goes with that, and it's for council to make some decisions on how we move forward. Things like whether to hold an annual meeting or not. Yeah. Then item 13 is to the notice of resignation of a councillor. Item 14 is regarding the theft of the cemetery equipment, and I know there's a report on that. Item 15, there is a report that's just been added to the website on the impact on the council accounts from the current situation and managing, and how we'll move forward managing any debts that the council may have.
Yeah, quite an important one for council to consider at this early stage, rather than trying to manage it later in the year when it becomes much more difficult to do so.
Yeah. Item 16 is an update on the general staffing situation during lockdown, where will you be giving a verbal report there?
I will, yes. It'll just be a brief update on where we are with how we're working and what things we can do and what things we can't do.
Item 17, we've got 4 planning applications for council to consider. I don't know whether you want to try and get some of the plans.
Yes, I think that would be really useful to share that now to see how that goes out on YouTube. So I will do that now, and we'll see what happens. So I'm now sharing one of the planning applications that is coming in, and I can move to another one. So let's move to this one is a McDonald's sign. This will be on tomorrow's agenda for council to consider among some other planning applications. So this is how it will appear. I don't know how that appears to the public, but I will be moving around the screen like this, and councillors can talk about it and ask questions and make a decision. So I'll stop sharing that now, and we'll see how that comes out on the YouTube video.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if people can see that clearly. And then that's the end of the agenda.
Okay, so what I'm going to do now is stop live streaming, and so hopefully then we can carry on with the other discussion.